Hello and welcome to the practice today. I'm really excited to be coming to mat with you all, and I just wanted to give you a little bit of background about myself. Some of my students out there, I just must say a big apology. I have been meaning to put a class online for the last few weeks, but I'm sure everybody's been in the same boat. It's been very unusual circumstances, but what better circumstances to be able to come to the mat and to be able to come inside at a time that we can't necessarily go outside very much. Coming to stand at the front of your mat, just pop a gentle bend in your knees and just start to turn the body. Just being really soft, and you can allow some movements through the hips as you turn. We're just opening up the midline. Taking some deep breaths in through the nose, exhaling out through the nose. And just turning the neck very gently. To look behind you. Letting the hands just slap against your legs or your hips. And then slowing the movement down. Keeping the bend in the knees until you come to stand in total stillness and closing down the eyes. And just feeling that energy that you've started to create coming through your body. Keeping the eyes closed, I'd love you to start concentrating on your inhales, pulling them up through the belly, into the chest, and out through the collarbones. And exhaling down through the collarbones, chest, and back to the belly. And keep doing these in your own time. Seeing if you can lengthen the inhalation a little bit more and match the exhalation to the breath. Letting any to-do list just melt away. And making an intention for your practice. Maybe it's just that you took the time out to come to mat today. Just very gently opening up the eyes now and just coming back into the present moment, into the room. And I'd like you to either keep a hip width stance or just bring your feet close together, big toes touching, and just stand nice and tall on your mat. So lift the toes and just place them down one toe at a time, just spreading them out a little bit more. Pull the knees very gently up and just push the buttocks in, pulling up and in on the pelvic floor, noticing how the hips expand out as the thighs roll in slightly. And taking that breath now all the way up through the chest, and pretending there's a line of string coming from your head, just pulling you up that little bit taller. Rolling the shoulders up, back and around, and just gently turning the thumbs to face the front. Elongating the neck and the spine, and standing in Tadasana, our first pose for the day, a mountain pose. So this is a wonderful foundation pose and one of the most important poses to come into, because through all of our standing postures we come back to Tadasana. So feeling into this pose, you may feel a very gentle pull of your body, a very gentle sway, and that's perfectly fine. And now gently bending the knees, just very slightly, and bringing the arms on the inhale all the way up to the shoulders, palms facing forward, and then palms on the exhale coming into the heart. And we're going to do that again. So bringing the arms up on the inhale, and the hands come into the heart. And one more time, creating a little bit of energy, and hands come into the heart. And on the next inhale, just bringing your hands all the way up, opening them up, and then bringing them down to the shoulder line once more. And exhaling through to the heart. And just practicing this very slow moving meditation. Concentrating on the breath. As we inhale, we pull away from our body. And as we exhale, we come into the body. And bringing the hands all the way down to gently rest against the legs. And just opening up the shoulders a little bit more. Inhale the arms up. And just lift the right arm a little bit taller, pulling the left shoulder blade down the back. And then feel in to the left side, and the right side. And you can look up if your neck is feeling fine. Otherwise, just keep the gaze soft and steady to the front. Just relax into this movement, never trying to force anything. And now bringing the hands all the way up and just clasping the hands, fingers entwined, and then turning the palms to face the sky. Keep a soft bend in the elbows. Pull up through the pelvic floor, and then exhale the hands to the ceiling. Open up the arms and bring them all the way back down. We're going to make our way onto our hands and knees now. So coming down onto the mat. And just bring your wrists over your shoulders and your knees over your hips. And just very gently moving into a cat-cow position. So inhaling, we drop our belly, bottom tilts up as we lift our neck and our chin. And exhale, just pushing through the hands into cat and rounding the shoulders. Almost like a cat stretching. Inhaling, dropping the belly, shoulder blades come down the back, lifting the head. And exhaling into cat once more. So continue through your cat-cows for another 5 breaths in your own time. And feel very free to close down the eyes. And coming back to center, just going to do some beautiful stretches, so full body stretches all the way around to one side, stretching the whole body all the way around. And coming forward, nice big circles, and just bringing cat-cow into these circles. Arching the spine as we come forward. And just softening as we come back. And then bring the circles in the opposite direction. Just feeling into our body. And then coming up to neutral spine once more. And I'd like you just to lift the right hand all the way up just to the shoulder line. And we're going to thread the needle. So bend at the elbow and the hand comes under the left arm as the ear and the shoulder comes down to the floor. Feeling a beautiful stretch through the back body. And just pushing into the left arm, bringing the right arm just gently all the way back up, rewinding and coming back to center. And taking the left arm out to the side, going to bend the elbow, bring the arm under the right arm. Left shoulder comes down to the mat, left ear comes down to the mat. Some nice deep breaths. And pushing into the hand just to bring you all the way back up to tabletop. We're going to set up for downward facing dog now. So spread the fingers really wide on the mat, middle finger facing forward. Wrists and shoulders align. And just tuck the toes at the back of the mat. Now I don't want you to come up into downward dog. On the inhale, just lift the knees gently, pushing into the hands off the mat. And then bring them back down to the mat. So doing that again, lifting the knees off the mat on the inhale. And exhaling, bringing the knees back down. Now what you would have found is that your pelvic floor area just tightened up as you lifted the knees. Try to keep that tightness through the pelvic floor, and it will just protect your back throughout all of our stretches today. So inhaling, lifting the knees, and this time keeping the knees nice and bent and pushing back on the hands. Bring the head back to look at your feet and just stretch into the upper body. So a bent leg downward dog. And then coming all the way back forward, pushing into the legs and coming down again into tabletop. And coming up again, inhaling, bringing the knees off the floor, pushing the bottom to the back of the room. And stretching out the front body. Looking to the front of the mat and just taking a few steps to get you up to the front, but staying with the knees bent into a nice forward fold. So this is our Tadasana, forward fold. You can keep your knees bent. You can use a block if you like, but just hanging out, letting all the blood flow through the front body and come down into the head. And very gently pushing into the feet and just coming up vertebra by vertebra. On the inhale. And bringing the shoulders up, back and around. Pulling the pelvic floor in as you stand nice and straight. Lifting the knees, rolling the shoulders up, back and around, and coming back into Tadasana, mountain pose. On the next inhale, bring the arms all the way up to the sky. And then exhale, reverse swan dive, coming down to the floor, keeping bent knees. Just hanging out here. And now putting your hands onto your shins and just pushing the hands away, coming up to a flat back. Ardha Uttanasana. Bend of the elbows brings you back to forward fold. Lifting the right leg, bring the right leg all the way back. And straight away, step the left leg back to meet the right, setting you up for high plank. So pushing forward through the head and then backwards through the heels. And then dropping the knees, chest and chin all the way down to the floor. Rest the forehead on the floor. Pull the elbows all the way in to the chest. Push the backs of the feet down, and you're going to inhale, push through the pelvic floor to bring you up to a gentle baby cobra. And on the next exhale, just come down. And let's try that once more. So pushing into the pelvic floor, and the back of the feet is going to protect your lower back. Pushing into the hands very gently and coming up once more into cobra pose. And then coming back down. Push the floor away with your hands and bring your bottom onto your heels and stretch out into child's pose. And then inhale, coming up to meet again in tabletop position. Straight from tabletop, I'd like you to tuck the toes at the back, push into the hands, and on the inhale, Pretend somebody is behind you, pulling your hips up and back. Keep the bend in the knees. And you're back in downward facing dog. Now gently pedal out the feet. Just feel through the ankles. Pushing the heels down one by one. And then coming up onto your tiptoes and pushing the heels all the way back. Just trying to straighten the legs out a little bit more without locking the legs. Look up towards your hands and just gently crouching and walking to the front of the mat once more. And just hanging out here in Uttanasana, forward fold. Soft bend in the knees and pushing the floor away. Let's reverse swan dive this time, all the way up. Just being aware of any lightheaded feelings and bringing the hands through to the heart. And then back down to the sides of our body, realigning into mountain pose. And on the next inhale, bring the arms all the way up. And flow through, coming forward, down to the mat. The head rolls in last. I'm going to look out to the distance again. Hands can be on shins or they can be on the floor. And then step back with your left foot, followed by your right foot into high plank once more. Bring your knees down to the floor, bend at the elbows, chest and chin. And set up again for Cobra pose. So keeping the hands nice and wide, pressing into the backs of the feet. And then slowly pushing yourself up into Bhujangasana Cobra. Coming back down. And once more. Push through the hands to bring you back to child's pose. And you can keep the knees together or you can open them up as you sit back on your heels. And then pull forward up into tabletop, tucking the toes. And exhaling into downward facing dog. Gaze to the front of the mat, deep bend of the knees. And you can take one big step or lots of little steps to bring you into your forward fold. Pushing the floor away, let's inhale, everybody coming up to Tadasana, mountain pose. Beautiful. So flowing through a little bit faster now, through our Surya Namaskar. Going to inhale the arms all the way up. And exhale, swan dive down to the mat. Tuck the head in. Inhale to look out to the distance. And I'd like you to just lift your right leg now and step the right leg all the way back to the back of the mat. Just bring the knee straight down onto the mat. And just gently, on the breath, just feeling into this position, this low lunge. Looking down at your toes, you can wriggle them forward so that the front leg is in a 90-degree angle, and then just gently lift yourself up. Now if this is enough for you, please stay exactly here. If you'd like to go a little bit further, just bringing your arms up on the inhale and just connecting the palms at the top and just very gentle back bend. Circling the arms back down to the front of the mat and getting ready to step back into high plank. So lifting the right knee off the floor, pushing into the hands to lift your left leg back into our high plank pose. Energy coming forward from the head and back from the heels. And either coming down through knees, chest, chin, or this time, just bending the elbows and bringing yourself very slowly down to the mat. And pushing back through the back of the toes, pushing into the hands, just very gently, bringing yourself up to Cobra pose. And just making sure the elbows don't splay to the sides. Keeping the neck long and exhaling, coming down. We're going to meet back in downward facing dog. So you can go back through child's pose or hook the toes at the back of the mat and pull yourself on the inhale straight up to plank. And then rolling over the toes, we're going to push back into downward dog. So however you get there, bring yourself into downward dog position. Just check through to the fingers and make sure the middle finger's facing the front. Be nice and gentle, shaking out the head, unhinging the jaw, and taking a few deep breaths. Bend of the knees. As you inhale the right foot all the way forward to the front of the mat, followed by the left. Forward fold. Push into the floor and bring yourself back up to Tadasana. And flowing straight back through. The inhale coming up. The exhale, all the way down and forward. Ardha Uttanasana, flat back, looking out to the distance. And this time stepping the left foot all the way back and bringing the left knee down to the floor. Feeling into your low lunge. Shuffling your front leg forward if needs be. And then inhaling to come on up. Choosing to stay here or lift the arms up. Gentle back bend. back down. We're going to lift the left leg up and bring the right leg around into plank. Bend of the elbows brings you all the way down onto the mat and come straight up into Cobra. And then all the way back down and meeting in downward facing dog, either extended child's pose to tabletop or tucking the toes and inhaling all the way back through plank and rolling over the toes into downward facing dog once more. Just push into the hands. Your last downward dog of the day, so making this a really good one. Bringing the hips up into an A-frame. And exhaling through the mouth this time. Letting all the energy go. Taking another deep breath. Looking to the hands and bringing your left foot all the way forward. We'll meet in forward fold once more. Now staying in forward fold, just bring a gentle bend to your knees if they're not bent already, and just open the legs up. Just to the width of your mat. And you can use a block to pop under your seat or lift the toes up so that your heels are off the ground, and just very slowly come down into Malasana, our squat. And the idea is to try and get the heels as close as possible to the ground, but this may take a long time, and that's fine. You can roll your mat at the back, or you can pop a towel underneath your heels, or if you're happy on your toes, you can stay here. Wherever you are, see if you can bring your hands together in a prayer position, and just gently use your elbows to push your knees just slightly open. So a wonderful pose, especially for women who tend to hold a lot of emotion in the hips. When you're ready, just putting your hands on the floor, and bringing the hands behind you to just bring you down onto the mat. Bring your feet into a butterfly position, and I'm going to turn and face you now. Toes together, holding on to the toes or holding on to the ankles, and just gently fluttering the knees. Keeping the back nice and straight. And bring the right leg in front of you, and the left leg just pulling the foot into the groin area. You can take the right leg and open it up just very slightly as well. I'm just going to do some side stretches, so bringing the hand onto the calf or onto the ankle. Inhaling the left arm up, stretching over. Just keeping the chest nice and open. Turning the body, just walking the hands down, very gently leaning towards the knee. And coming back up. Now I'd like you to take your hands under your right knee and bring the right knee up and just put the right knee in front of you. If you'd like to go a little bit further than this, you're going to lift the right knee up and bring the leg all the way over the left knee, but you're very welcome just to stay in this position here. So sitting up nice and straight, you might need to untuck the flesh from your seat, bringing the right hand behind you and then reaching the left arm all the way up. And on the exhale, you're going to drop the arm and just sit up nice and tall and twist to the side of the room. So cooling down the practice now. On an inhale, we stretch, sit up, and on an exhale, we twist. And then coming back to center, unhooking the legs, and just bringing both feet out to a wide-legged stance, wriggling through the toes a little bit. And now taking the right knee and bending it in. Heel comes to groin. Left hand against the right calf. And just coming over nice and gently to the left side. Stretching out the left sideways. Rolling forward, keeping a nice flat back and stretching. And then walking up once more. And taking the hands onto the left knee, you're going to just place that foot straight in front of you. Otherwise, bring it up and over the right leg. Left hand goes behind you, right hand paints the sky, and on an exhale, sweep the hand over the knee. And then exhaling back to center, opening up the legs once more, fluttering through the legs, and then coming to find a position lying on your back, bringing you all the way down, and just keep the feet flat on the floor, opening the feet to the edges of your mat, and bring the hands out into a T position now. And you're going to just gently windscreen wipe your legs from side to side. And bring the legs all the way over to the right side now. And just hang out here, and you can look towards your left hand, and then coming up to center, Just taking it in the opposite direction. You can look towards your right hand. The next inhale, bringing the legs back up. Making our way into Savasana, corpse pose. So with corpse pose, we lay down, extending the legs, letting the feet just gently open up. And the hands come beside the body, maybe about 6 inches away from the body. Press into the feet, place down the hips, the legs. And you can push into the head as well, just to place your shoulders down on the floor, making you nice and comfortable. Let the whole body melt. Bring your attention to the areas of your body that are supporting you on the earth. Relax into your eyes, letting them gently roll back in the sockets. Unhinge the jaw and bring a very gentle smile to your lips. Resting the tongue at the roof of the mouth. Soften into the shoulders, arms, hands and fingers. Torso, belly and thighs. Feel the weight of the back body pulling you down. Relax into your ankles and toes. And just stay here for a couple of minutes, soaking up your practice. Feeling the breath expand in your chest. Fluttering through your fingers and your toes. Starting to wake the body up. Just rolling over to the right side of the room into recovery position. Keeping the eyes closed, pushing yourself up, making your way into a cross-legged position. Bringing the hands into the heart. From my heart to yours, thank you for practicing today. Namaste. And welcome back. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time on the mat.